Hello there, my name is Eliza White, and I am an environmental science major here at MSU. This is my second semester of college, and environmental science is a particular topic that I have become very passionate about over the past few years. But there is a particular issue within this field that has come to my attention that I feel is a very important issue, and it's one that is not really realized by the majority of the community, and that's the issue that we face from palm oil plantations. So for those of you who don't know, palm oil there's many different names for it. It's a type of vegetable oil, and it's found in nearly everything that you can buy in the grocery store, from shampoo and conditioner to peanut butter and cleaners. It's a bonding agent that is used in nearly everything. So it's a common item that we typically don't realize is found in nearly everything that we own, as far as like food and household items. The issue that we face with palm oil comes from how this oil is extracted and how these plantations are formed. The particular plant that palm oil derives from can only be grown in tropical regions such as Thailand and Indonesia. And the issue with these plantations is these companies will come in, and particularly to there will be indigenous people that have already occupied the land. If that is the case, these logging companies will come in and they will push the people off the land. They will section off the particular acreage that they need for their plantation, which is typically a very large portion of the area, and they will cut down all of the trees and plants that are within that acreage, and they set fire to the rest of the vegetation, anything that is left. So the smoke from the fire releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that traps heat in the atmosphere. So we have this issue of these plantations and how they are formed contributing to global warming and overall climate change, and a big issue considering how much this product is produced and how much there's a demand for it. Then that is linked to how many plantations there are. There's the supply and the demand. So that is the first part of the issue with palm oil. And the second part is that we have found recently that palm oil is linked to causing neurological cancers in the human mind. So my question is there a sustainable and healthier alternative for palm oil that we can use? So here are my references. Here are the 5 articles that I chose to use. They were the ones that had the most to do with my topic. They were the ones that I found very helpful when I was doing my research. And today I'm going to show you just how I found them. So I'm going to go to any browser you can use. And I searched up our library, Moffitt Library. And you will need to be logged in to your MSU portal, your MSU account, to be able to access these databases. So if you want to go ahead and log into that right now. Oh, I don't know why it keeps doing that, but take a moment to log in, and then I will show you how to access the databases. So now that I have finally been able to log into my MSU portal, I'm going to go down over here on the left. There is Library Databases. So you can go ahead and click on that instead of typing in, oh geez, it's making me do this again. Let's see. Okay, I've been having issues with my login, but anyway, so now hopefully I'm in. We're in research databases, and this is under the library part of the Moffat Library part of the Midwestern website. So because my particular major is environmental science, I went to the science and mathematics portion. And I just went ahead and clicked on the first one that I saw. It was under best bets. And so it took me to Science Direct, which I found very helpful because it says here that like all of them are peer-reviewed articles. So we know that they're credible, that they're valid. So the keywords that I typed in was palm oil alternatives. It's already in there for me. And let's see if it'll load. There we go. So here I have various different articles that I can use. Obviously, right now, this is extremely broad. So another keyword that I typed in was sustainable at the beginning. So sustainable palm oil alternative. That narrowed it down a little bit. But yeah, so this is just the database that you can use for your own research project. I wanted to just quickly show y'all. You will, like I said before, have to be logged into your MSU portal. So I'm going to go back to my reference slide. Here are just the citations for my different articles that I used. The article that I chose to focus on today, or not today, but overall chose to focus on, was this article that I found, and it was titled Addressing the Threats to Biodiversity from Oil Palm Agriculture. So I chose this article because I felt like it very easily explained the issue, and it put it in words that, were hard for me to articulate, and it explained it in a way that people who aren't knowledgeable on the subject would be very easy to understand, and it explained the issue, the relevancy of the issue. Even though this is an article from 2009, this issue was prominent then, and it's even more prominent now. As far as primary and secondary sources, this is a secondary source, I realize, because it is not a first-hand account of experiences or experiments in this industry. It's more of a speculation and an overall summary of the issues that we face because of the palm oil industry. So the problem that they addressed is the palm oil industry is destructive to the environment, detrimental to biodiversity in the regions in which these plantations are formed, and it's problematic to human health. So the overall objective was just to address the threats to biodiversity from palm oil agriculture and to speculate if there are any solutions that we can possibly see. Now, this was in 2009, and there weren't any other papers that I found more recently with any other solutions to this issue. And I will read a little bit of the abstract for you. Let's see. So I'll just read from here to about there, somewhere in there. Oh, go back. My bad. Excuse me. So it says, those concerned about the impacts of oil palm on biodiversity must face some harsh social, economic, and ecological realities. Oil palm has been a very profitable crop. Palm oil is used in so many products that simple direct actions such as boycotts are unlikely to succeed. There is currently insufficient demand for certified sustainable palm oil and inadequate political clout from environmental groups in two of the biggest markets for palm oil, China and India, to slow the rate of forest conversion. And lastly, oil palm agriculture has improved the lives of poor rural communities in the Southeast Asia, although it has disenfranchised some indigenous communities. So like I mentioned before, it has disenfranchised indigenous people's communities. And yes, it has helped the smaller rural communities as far as they have been able to get a job, but runoffs from these plantations have contaminated the water in the villages that these places live in. There are currently over 700 land disputes in Indonesia from just palm oil plantations alone, and that is data collected from last year, from 2019. So after reading this article, the general summary and conclusion that I came to, that these researchers came to, was that there is not one single approach to fix this issue. Every solution has its strengths and weaknesses, and that is what I think is the biggest problem about this particular research question and trying to find an answer, is it is extremely, it relates to everything almost. It relates to the economy, the environment. It relates to, what is found in your home, on the shelves. Palm oil is everywhere in almost everything, and there is little demand and particularly little knowledge among, these first world countries that it is an issue. Not many people realize that it is an issue. So what I realized after reading this, and this is in 2009, but what I realized is that this issue is something that needs to be brought to light, and more people need to be aware of it. I feel like if more people know about the issue and know the effects of these plantations, then more people would be able to push political whatever to do something about it. And this article was one that just perfectly explained everything that I have been trying to articulate myself. So there we have it. There's the official end of my slideshow. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.